People, deluded, I'm back again. Big up you lot, people. Now, with it being the international break and me doing my job to be a superhero and to make sure you've got content, let's review August specifically in terms of the players. Now, I welcome opinions. Let me know if you agree, you disagree, etc., etc. Now, not all of our players have been given an opportunity. Some players have played certain minutes than others, but I think I am making this video to provide my sort of gradings, if I'm honest with you, with our players so far this season. As I said, some have played more than others. And again, it's due to spark debate. So get the creative juices flowing. Make sure your notification bells are on and let me know your thoughts. Now, I'm going to start with an easy one for me, David Raya. David Raya scores an A for me. You know, I'm sure if we review the Brighton goal again, everybody could have done better. I'm sure if you was to micro manage David Raya's performance, there's been a couple of stray passes, but I think David Raya, not that Arteta breeds complacency, and not that, you know, complacency is welcomed at Arsenal, but David Raya's moves been made permanently. He's made them. He's won the war with Aaron Ramsdale. He's fresh off of winning the European Championship with Spain. You could forgive him for being still in party mode, but he's come back with desire, hunger, and ultimately professionalism. He bailed us out against Wolves. He bailed us out against Aston Villa, and I think he's very unfortunate for him against Brighton not to have kept a clean sheet. And he was one of the only players I look at and think, yeah, you really look like you knew what you was doing when we went down to 10 men. And even in that game, he made some great saves. And I think the people in front of him let him down for the João Pedro goal, which was the equalizer, people. So David Raya gets an A. He stood up tall for me. I would personally give Benjamin White a C. I don't think he's dropped off. I think he's been calm. I think, like everyone, he doesn't look like he's 100% to his best. Collectively, that is said for the whole team. I do think he was a bit sluggish against Brighton as the game went on and struggled a bit against Mitoma, but generally Benjamin White, there's nothing to say about him. It's a C. Now, Big Gabriel, I give him a C, but I need you to get back to that level of focus. You got away with it against Wolves. I think Saliba's getting away with murder for the Aston Villa goal we conceded, but neither of our centre-backs covered themselves in glory, if I'm honest with you. Gabriel, I need you to get back to your best. So I think it's a C. Saliba, I give him a B. I think he was very good in the first half against Brighton. I think he was very naive in stepping into midfield unnecessarily when we went down to 10 men. I think he had a great battle against Ollie Watkins, and generally I think he's been doing what he's doing, so he gets a B. I'm going to give Timber a B as well, because I think he's, excluding for me probably David Raya, Kai Havertz and Saka, we'll get on to the other two. Timber, I've liked what I've seen from you. I think there's been elements where you evidently look a bit rusty and made a couple of dodgy decisions, but I think you've done well in the opportunities you've got. And to coin Arsene Wenger, I think it's like a new signing. I think Timber's been very good. A couple rusty moments, but generally Timber's done okay. Zinchenko, you know what, to be fair with you, it should be a C, but minutes adjusted in what he's played, I actually give Zinchenko an A. I think you've done well against Wolves. You had to play. There's nothing of note there. Obviously, rightly so, a tough trip to Aston Villa. We don't want to see Zinchenko, so you is irrelevant. And I don't think you did anything wrong against Brighton. The narrative around that game was already painted when you came on. So for me, a C, but I might be being a bit harsh. In the minutes that Zinchenko was played in August, I'll give you an A. Calafiori, I also would give him an A, but I'm going to say B, purely because of the cameos, people. I think he's impressed me with, pardon my language, his shithousery, his composure, and he looks proactive. Like, it sounds silly, but it's like he wants to impress in the minutes he's got, and he just seems to get it. I like Calafiori, and I'm keen to see what we could do with you and Timber primarily. Throw Tomiyasu into the mix. When the sun is shining, only Zinchenko. You get it, people. We've got some things over there on the left-hand side. I'm going to give Partey a C. I do think there's been sluggish moments. I don't think he looks fully fit. I do think he's been naive with the space he's vacated. But I think he's done a lot better than Odegaard and Declan Rice, if I'm very honest with you. So I give him a C, and he did save us against Villa. Martin Odegaard, I give you a C. Another one I think people are doing too much. I think in terms of what's demanded of you collectively, within the tactics and guidelines Arteta wants, you've done well. You're pressing well. I can't say you're hiding, but we need you to be decisive. Cool, there's been a couple of times you should have got assists, but in the last 2 games in August, you should have 2 goals in the Premier League. Aston Villa, I don't know what it is about their ground, but someone's done some sort of voodoo to you over there. Should have bagged, and it was more of a difficult finish, but I genuinely think he should have scored against Brighton. I've got no problems about Odegaard. He typically is a bit slow at the start of the season, but I give him a C. Saka, I give you an A. The only way I would mark you down is because I don't think you're at your best yet. But Saka has literally made the difference in the last 3 games and doing what he's required. Of course, there's been some chances, mainly against Brighton, he should have scored. But Saka's been doing what he's doing. And for me, Kai Havertz, Bukayo Saka, and David Raya would be the three that would have the less kind of criticisms, apologies about. Kai Havertz, to give you an A. You know, you're doing what you can. I don't expect you to be the most clinical, man. There's been chances you could have scored and didn't. Other than that, in the last 3 games, I think you've been doing your thing. I don't think you was provided any service against Aston Villa, but you made the difference in what you could against Brighton. And when we went down to 10 men, you helped us. To be fair, you and Saka should have had more goals in that game. Saka should have given you an assist. He got on the score sheet. I can't ask anything more in the month of August from Kai Havertz. Martinelli, I give you a D. It's the same old pause. It's the same, definitely. It's the same old on that front. Trossard, I give you a C. You did very well off the bench against Aston Villa. I don't want to judge a man on only one start against Brighton, but didn't really cover yourself in glory. So it's a C for that, if I'm honest with you. The manager, Mikel Arteta, I give you a B. I don't think we've asked anything of you tactically. I think more so the players have kind of could have done better or whatnot. And obviously the ref did us dirty against Brighton. I do think if I was to be a bit harsh, I think you need to find a way to, you know, mitigate against teams blocking us playing centrally, because that's a theme I've seen early doors in August. I think you tried to make the subs before the goal we conceded against Brighton, but then I also think maybe my mind's playing tricks on me. Being at the ground, it seemed like you only reacted to go into a back five when we conceded, and ultimately the manager's got to take responsibility. I think the players look very nervous against Brighton, especially in the 10 minutes straight after us going down to 10 men, in which I don't necessarily blame Arteta, but ultimately everything is a reflection. So I give Mikel Arteta a B. Edu, I give you a C on the transfer market. We did address certain areas and we did do well to get players in and not necessarily get our first choice targets. And I guess we've got a positive bank balance, but at the same time, I don't think collectively the squad depth is stronger, especially because there's going to be more games and we aspire to go as far as we can in all competitions. You know, we all know the month of September, there's a lot of games. We've got the Champions League, we've got the North London Derby, we've got City, we've got a number of games, people. So we're going to need to stand up to be counted. And again, a rule of thumb, I don't think anybody is playing to their highest best, people. You know, I even almost forgot about Mr. Declan Rice. Declan Rice, I think people are doing too much. I give him a C. Now, I'm not a fan of necessarily Declan Rice in that A. I do think people over exaggerate. I think his bread and butter is a 6. And I think where you look at it, everybody is not playing to their best. So there has to be something collectively, systemically that is leading to this. So hopefully when I do this again, things change, people. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on everything. I'm sure a lot of you disagree. Let me know your thoughts on your players and who's doing well, who's doing what. Am I being too harsh? Am I being too kind? Let me know your thoughts, people. Football is a universal sport. And hopefully when I do this in the month of September, everybody's got A's and whatnot, people. But this is why you need a squad. There's 38 Premier League games alone. We all know how many games are in all the comps. There's different heroes and protagonists every week, people. So yeah, as I keep saying, let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We're trying to get to 70,000. On that note, peace.